This was over 10 years ago. I was on a ship working. It was not a fishing boat, but a merchant ship that transported cargo. The company I was working for did not have that many crew members, so we took turns doing what we were assigned to. The job required us to spend a long time on it. The ship left the port after loading and unloading cargo. One of the crew members said he picked up a small box-like object in the passageway. He showed it to me. The box was a perfect square about the size of a Rubik's Cube. It was made of iron, its color faded blue, with joints that became frail over time. When I shook it, it made a slight noise, so I was sure there was something inside. But since I didn't know how to open it, the content was a mystery. No one else on the ship, including me, knew anything like it, so it must have been dropped by someone who had been in and out of the ship at the port earlier. I left it in the ship's dining area, saying that if we received any questions about anyone on land looking for it, I should have it mailed to that person at our next stop. From the next day, misfortunes began to happen to the crew's relatives. Fortunately, no one died, but wives and children were taken to hospitals due to accidents. I had to replace people on leave in a hurry, substituting members whose relatives has been injured at the next port. I was single, and my parents had died already, so nothing happened to me. I stayed on the ship. Most of the crew members on board are male, but there is only one female crew member in my company. Let's call her Satoko. The day after we left the port, I was chatting with Satoko in the dining area. It was then when she asked me, "What is this box?" Clearly, she hadn't heard how it got into this room. I explained that I had forgotten about it because I had not yet heard anyone looking for it, and the crew were trying to figure out how to open the box together. Then, out of nowhere, Satoko got up from her chair and started banging her head hard against the wall. I froze at her sudden action, but I put the box in my jacket pocket, immediately held Satoko down, and called out to the other crew members to get a medic. In the meantime, Satoko was still grunting in a low voice trying to get free. The assembled crew members held her down and carried her into the sick bay. She seemed to have lost consciousness by then. The next port of call was nearby, so we arrived there about 2 hours later, and Satoko was carried to the hospital in the form of a replacement, and I went on land with her as a witness. When she woke up at the hospital, she did not remember anything at all. She was hospitalized for further checkup, and I took this opportunity to have some vacation time. I felt the box I had in my pocket and suddenly became creeped out when I realized that a series of disturbances had all occurred after finding it. I called a friend of mine who is psychic and asked them about it over the phone. He told me he can't say anything since he hadn't seen the actual object, but advised to have it purified in a shrine just to be safe. He introduced me to a man named Kato. The next day, I went to see him. He was a strong-looking elderly man. As soon as he caught a glimpse of the box, he said to me, "You look like you have brought something very sinister with you." I asked, "You mean this box?" He replied, "It's not just a box, but more like a forbidden curse, but it's nothing compared to mundane things. Fortunately, its power seems to have weakened drastically, so it doesn't seem to have enough power to kill people. To be honest with you, what you've brought here is way too powerful for me to handle. I'll keep it for now and take it to a seasoned exorcist." This surprised me. Is this box really that bad? Or is it what's in it that's bad? Kato said in a somber tone. It would have been bad if the contents were the pure essence of this cursed thing and had broken the box or something. Can you tell what's in the box, Mr. Kato? I asked. I don't know exactly, but I can guess. But I'm sure you'll regret knowing it. I gave up the answer to my inquiry and left the box to Kato. Nothing happened to me after that. Satoko died suddenly of unknown causes a few months after that incident, and I have lost contact with Kato. I just cannot get a hold of him anymore. What in the world was in that box? Will I get cursed if I figure out what's inside of it? I'm kinda regretting not asking Kato, because my curiosity is killing me.